Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review, my long overdue full review of the TRM Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron 2. But before we get into that, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. So this knife, I've had it for quite a while, and I carried it a little bit, and then I got some new gear in, a couple new knives, and it kind of got pushed to the back of the list. And it's such an awesome knife. I'm finally ready to do the full review. I've been carrying it the last couple days. You might have seen a video that I posted of the scale swap that I did. This originally came with my Carta, and I swapped it for the really some of my favorite, really nice contoured blue G10, which is just about my favorite color. So let's go ahead and get this box out of the way. Now, this is the Neutron 2, so it's the second version of the Neutron. It's by Three Rivers Manufacturing. I think that they did OEMing for other knife designers, knife makers, before they ventured into their own designs. So let's get this guy out. Action is awesome, really super snappy and smooth. We have a kind of like a light, let's see, get in the light, light stonewash finish on the blade. Super sharp still. Drop point blade. You see the TRM logo kind of stamped in there or etched in. I wonder if that's CNC'd or I guess laser etched. And of course the really super smooth contoured G10 scales. If you saw my other video, you saw how easy it is to swap the scales, and that's one of the biggest pluses about the knife and about this setup. You can just undo these screws and take off the scales without totally disassembling the knife, which is really nice. It's super quick, super easy. Now, it is a liner lock, inset liners or nested liners, which I think is really great. There's no, frame lock, or I'm not gonna press too hard so the blade doesn't deploy. I can't mess it up. Great lockup. Let's get this closer. Yeah, really nice, solid lockup, and the close is just super controlled and smooth. Great detents. This is definitely not one of those knives that's gonna fall shut and drop shut. It's super, super light, really lightweight in hand, which I think is awesome for this type of knife. And for this type of knife, you definitely want to be using it, carrying it. It's not a hard use knife, but this is meant to be used. The ergonomics are really, really great for my hand, at least. My hand is on the smaller side, kind of locks right in. The only thing is I do feel the clip, and that we'll get to that later. We've been talking about all the upsides. We'll get to the downsides in a little bit, but first let's go ahead and do a little size comparison. We got the one of my standards, Benchmade Mini Freak. We also got probably the best size comparison that I could come up with, which is the Quiet Carry Drift. And this is very similar in style and the kind of lines and curves. So you're just about identical. Of course, the drifts. Blade profile's a little bit taller. Yeah, close. I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys measured up. We'll start with the Neutron 2. We got a blade length of just about 3 inches. Total length, just about 7. Now for the drift, again, right about at 3, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, no, right about at 3. And then again, almost 7. And then for the Mini Freak, again, right around 3 and just under 7. Let's get something a little bit different in the mix for one more size comparison. How about this guy? Oh my gosh. I just unboxed this a little bit ago. Let's go ahead and replace the Mini Freak. So you can see that the J-Cape is just a little bit bigger than the Neutron 2, but not substantially bigger. Although it does look, with this angle, it looks fucking giant, but it's really not. The Neutron is definitely the smaller handle, smaller blade. You can see the blade profile, and you got this big chunker on the J-Cape. All right, so let's get this out of the way, put it back in its box, and then I will do the same with the drift. Okay, cool. So back to the Neutron. I've been talking about a lot of the upsides about this knife. We got a really thin, slicey blade, awesome stonewash finish, and it's not like, sometimes I see the stonewash. Actually, let me see if I have something that's okay. So I'll get out my giant Formax Scout. So this stonewash, you know, I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite. I don't like that heavy kind of cloudy stonewash. So if you see the difference, these are both stonewashed, but the Neutron, it's very light. So I think the point of that is to keep the finger, you know, you can't see the fingerprints really. I mean, you can if I hold it up close, but you're not going to get a ton of marks or fingerprints. It's not a fingerprint magnet. So that light stonewash is really, it's kind of like a working finish as far as I'm concerned, which is awesome. I'll go ahead and get this guy closed up and we can talk about the action. The thumb studs are small, but they do their job. They're comfortable, really snappy deployment. And the position that I feel most comfortable, it's tempting to want to kind of choke up here, but it is a little bit sharp right around the sharpening choil. Now, I like to choke back just a little bit, get my thumb up here, and that kind of brings me to a few of my downsides. Number one is I would like to see a little bit of kind of light jimping right here. It's very slick, super smooth, and I feel like if you're really trying to cut into something and doing some heavier work than I did with the knife. I'm not like a knife abuser here, you know, but anything heavier than what I was doing would cause my thumb to slip just a little bit. So I'd like to see some jimping there. And the main criticism is the clip. So I'll get this guy closed and we can talk about the clip. So it is fairly deep carry, you know, just a little bit of the knife sticking out of your pocket, but I'm not a fan of the huge screws sticking out. It's kind of a bulky clip. Now the clip works well. I mean, it doesn't really snag in my pocket, and you know, when I put it in my jeans or even shorts, the knife feels very light. It's not, you know, snagging on anything or grabbing anything. But when I do, oh my gosh, there we go. When I do hold the knife and go for my grip, get my thumb nice and high where there should be jimping, I can feel the clip. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's really a hot spot, but it's the only thing that sticks out. And I feel like it doesn't need to. I don't know what the redesign would be. If it was me, I would put a wire clip on. And I was not a fan of wire clips for a long time. And I've come around. Wire clips are, if not my favorite, top two. So this would be so cool with a wire clip. Other than that, it's just a solid knife. This is a solid knife that was really hard to get a hold of for a long time, and TRM is really upping their game. You know, sometimes knife makers or manufacturers, designers, they you know, make announcements and they say we're upping our production and we're gonna get a lot more knives out, and then nothing changes, nothing happens for whatever reason. You know, I don't want to be too critical, but TRM actually did it. They stepped it up. These are much easier to get in hand. Just the last couple weeks, I don't know for sure the exact number, but I feel like every time I log into Instagram or I pop over to Reddit, there's another drop. I mean, I swear they've had like 3 drops in the last 3 weeks. Maybe I'm making that up, but it seems like they've had a ton of drops lately, and they're just continuing to up the production, and they're working their asses off. So shout out to TRM. Also, I've never had to contact them for any customer service issues, but I was talking to one guy from TRM on Reddit, and he was just so nice and so cool, and he did not have to be. So shout out to them. No QC issues at all, but if there ever were, I feel like they would be really, really, proactive and friendly, and take care of whatever the issue was. So I am kind of keeping an eye out on what's next for them, what they're going to come out with, and you know, I've heard rumors and seen a picture or two of some titanium scales. I don't know if it's just the scales that you can get or if it's a totally new configuration, but I'm pumped for that too, because I love my titanium, as you guys know. All right, so really solid knife, the Neutron 2. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Knife Standards. I'll catch you guys soon.